Hello, people all across the country. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here to tell you about how to buy a house, how to build it from scratch, how to finance it. If you're doing a one-time construct, you can actually use FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac to build your house from scratch and buy the land in the process. Say what? Yeah.
So if you guys have questions about home loans, building your house, buying a house, existing, non-existing, whatever it may be, load up that chat box, guys. All your questions, comments, concerns, scenarios. That's a big one. Everyone's hitting us with, my credit score is this, my income is that. I used to own a house, now I'm divorced. I had a bankruptcy. I have never bought a house before. My mom wants me to buy a house. Can I use this person's credit and my income?
My cat got divorced.
All those questions.
My cat got divorced.
Again? Cat can't hold down any relationship. What is up with that?
Dude, you don't understand. My cat was in an abusive relationship. They would
Yeah?
scream all night at each other. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. They would be
Now she's
screaming at each
pregnant?
other. Now she's pregnant.
So,
yeah,
all
do
your
the math on it.
scenarios.
Yeah, we're going to teach you how to buy that house. One-time construct. Very, very popular these days. For some reason, everybody wants to build their house from scratch. Unless you've done it. Once you've done it, it's like, I don't know if I'll do that again.
Yeah,
But,
uphill battle.
yeah.
But it's nice. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've been trying to find a home education class near us, and finding it is difficult. What do you mean? What are you looking for? Do you want to be in the industry, or do you want someone to teach you how to buy a house?
Or are you trying for one of the down payment assistance programs? Because some of the down payment assistance programs require you take a class to show financial responsibility before they allow you to use the down payment assistance program. We're here for you. We are trying to help you get that house in 2024.
I'll be honest with you. Those classes that you take with these nonprofits,
They
they're
suck.
silly.
They suck.
They are silly. Did you know you are borrowing money that needs to be paid back? Did you know this is a monthly obligation? Did you know that you need to have your credit pulled? Silly questions like that. But if that's what you're looking for, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let us know. We'll send you down the right path.
Yeah, I've been through a few of those just with the client, and I'm like, this is insanely stupid questions, right?
Insanely stupid.
They're like, hey,
Silly.
did you know that you're borrowing money from a bank? Did you know?
the bank's making money on you?
Yes.
So-
I just sit there and I'm like, I can't believe this. These are the questions, but whatever.
So, I'm getting a lot of questions about the one-time construction, people building their own houses, okay? So know this, guys. When you're building your own house, you're going to need to hire an expert to do it for you. Unless you're an expert. That expert also needs to get approved by the bank in order to build the house. So it's not just, hey, my cousin knows how to build houses, so he's going to do it for me. It's not that at all. Mary, will my credit get pulled twice within 30 days?
I don't know what that means. Are you saying if you went with us, Mary, if you've already went to a loan officer and they pulled your credit and we pulled your credit, well, that's 2 pulls within 30 days. However, if you do it within 30 days, I think it's even a little bit wider than that. The credit reporting agencies know that you're just shopping for a better rate. So if you have it pulled by another loan officer within a certain period of time, I think it's between 2 and 6 weeks, that it doesn't affect your score very much, if at all.
Yeah, so if you're in escrow and they've already pulled your credit and you're about to close in 30 days, you should be fine. For the most part, reports are good for 120 days, okay? If you go past 120 days before closing, probably going to need to get it pulled again. But Mary, here's what I'm going to tell you. Call us. Let's talk about it so we can actually give you real good answers. And same thing with you. And 1, 2, 3, 4. They said, I just want to be educated on how much money I need to save for all the things.
I'll give it to you real quick.
Who can they call, Lee?
For a first-time home buyer, call Chris and Lee.
Boom!
Right here. So I'm going to give it to you real simple. So if you went, so the most popular financing program is called FHA. Okay, FHA is 3.5% down. So if you're buying a $100,000 house, you need to have $3,500 for the down payment. If you're buying a $200,000 house, you need $7,000. If you're buying a $300,000, $10,500, and so on and so forth. So 3.5% for the down payment. Now, that's not the only expensive part of a loan. The other part is closing costs. Closing costs are your property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, everything in title, everything in escrow, the notary, everything that goes on with the transaction. Oh, what is that price? Well, it's going to depend largely on where you live, because property tax impound is probably the biggest part of it. And that's going to depend on where you live. What does that mean? In California, we put in a standard 1.25%, unless there's special things like new builds have a lot of special things. In Texas, it's 2.1% as a base. So it's a little different everywhere, and the impound account is a little bit more. Now, who pays for the closing costs? KDZ. Who pays for the closing cost?
What's up, KDZ?
It can be the seller. The seller can pay for it. The buyer can pay for it. The realtor can pay for it. The loan officer can pay for it. Your uncle can pay for it. It can be paid for by anybody. The down payment has to come from the borrower.
Yeah, Karen DeZala in the house, about to join her pickleball game. Kick ass, KDZ. Kick ass. That's all I got to say. You know what? She kicks ass in everything she
Great
does.
to see you, KDZ.
Yeah. So Dot says, can you explain buy down rate? Are they required? My MLO, my loan officer, sorry, is telling me I have to bring in an extra 10 G's.
Okay, so when any loan officer prices a loan, when we price a loan, we get a matrix. And let's just say today I priced your loan and my matrix is anywhere from 5.5 to 7.5. Is that about
Sure.
right? So 5.5 to 7.5, okay? So that means you can choose either 5.5% rate or 7.5% rate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds amazing. Why wouldn't everybody choose 5.5?
Why would they?
Because your par came in at 7, which means there's no cost. So your actual rate is 7%. Now, how would I get down to 5.5? Well, you would spend $10,000 in this scenario. I don't know yours because I'd have to pay you credit. But in this scenario, you pay $10,000 and you're at 5.5. Well, what if I don't want to pay $10,000? Well, then you stay at 7. And there's a monthly cost for each one of those. But Lee, you said it goes all the way up to 7.5. Yeah, if you choose 7.5, well, I'll give you $6,000. What? Yeah, the loan officer or the bank will give you $6,000 that you can use towards closing costs. So that's your matrix. Now, how do you make that decision? Kind of tough? Not really. It's math. It's math and perspicacity. It's understanding the bigger picture. So what does that mean? Okay, well, let's just say you chose the 7. You're at 7 at par, but you chose $10,000 to buy down to 5.5. All right. So $10,000 down to 5.5, and let's just say it saves you $300 a month. All right. Well, how much is $300 a month over a year? $300 a month over a year is $3,600. How long before you catch 10,000? About 3 years. About after 3 years, this will make sense. It's a good move. But here's the bigger question. What's going to happen to interest rates over the next 3 years? Well, if you believe the chairman of the Federal Reserve, we are currently at 5.25 and 5.5 Fed funds rate. And they say over the next 3 years, we're going to be at 2.5. Well, for a 2.5, that's a 300 basis point drop, which means your 7% is going to go down to 4%. But wait a minute, you're at 5.5. You will have refinanced anyway. Was it smart? There's math involved. So it's not so simple, but there's a way to figure it out.
All right, guys, if you're interested in getting a home loan, go to the link in the bio, select apply for a home loan now. If you want to just talk about your scenario, give us a call. Our phone number there is there too. Dot, I have something to add to that. This is not new. Your loan officer knew this.
He knew it.
We've been in these environments for the past 2 years, so it didn't just happen. Okay?
He knew it.
He knew it. So I would hold
He
him.
didn't
Hold his feet
tell
to the
you.
fire.
He didn't tell you.
Yes.
But he knew it.
Hold his feet to the fire.
Yep.
Make sure they're explaining to you what's going on.
Yep.
Ask them, why didn't you tell me this?
Yep.
So all this should have already been explained.
Yep.
And if you want to deal with someone else who's going to
Yeah.
disclose everything, give us a call.
Yeah, and you could just say, "Hey, what's my par rate?" And he's going to give you your par rate, and your
Yeah.
par rate is going to be higher than $10,000 in closing costs. Your
Yeah.
par rate is going to be higher. Yeah.
If you want a second opinion, give us a call. Austin, thoughts on seller-owner financing?
It's cute. Yeah, it's cute. It usually goes bad for somebody, but hey, have at it.
Daniel Coleman, 730 plus credit score, nice. Minimal debt, nice. California, I love California scenery, but the politics suck. I'm profitable on sports bets. Will that affect the loan? Do you claim the sports bets?
Yeah, it depends on. So I have a friend who went to Vegas, and just sat at the blackjack table for years and years and years. And then one day, they sent 2 security guards right next to him. And he said, what's going on? And they said, well, you just hit the hand. He goes, what do you mean? You're a millionaire. Yeah, you won millions.
No, GTFO.
Yeah. And they said, okay, cool. Well, what do I do now? Well, we're going to escort you to the cage because when you walk away from the cage, you're going to walk away with a lot of money. Oh, by the way, we're reporting it to the IRS before you get your money, and we're going to hold a certain amount away from you. So they reported it to the IRS. So if you report your winnings to the IRS, then we do have to factor that in. But short of that, yeah.
Daniel said it just started this year. You're not going to have a problem, man. You have a bunch of positive cash flow coming in addition to your income. You should be fine. Everything will be easy peasy. Give us a call. Crystal 1983, if I was to buy now with a VA loan and rates may go down in September, when can I refi the VA loan?
Crystal, very good question. And that was a very simple answer. 210 days. 210 days from your first payment. 210 days. That's it.
Yep.
So it's actually a guideline inside of the VA because there's something called an IRRRL, interest rate reduction and refinance loan in the VA. It's only available to the VA. And it's a very skinny refinance. It's easy to do, which means loan officers could abuse it. So that they can't abuse it, there's 2 things that have to happen. One, it has to pass what's called the net tangible value test, which means after the cost in this VA IRRRL, will I make it up within a certain period of time? That's called the net tangible value test. And 210 days have to elapse from the first payment. Once you meet those 2 things, done deal.
Boom. Arcadia, thank you for the love. User 2568. If I buy a mobile home, will I still qualify for first-time home buyer when buying a house later?
Well, if you bought a mobile home with a FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or anything that actually is real estate, no, not, you can't have owned a home. But if you bought a mobile home that is on wheels and you just moved it around because it's mobile and that's your home, that's not even going to show up on the radar. It's not even going to show up. So no, it's just, hey, I'm going to park it in front of Walmart this week and I'm going to go try and find me a Target that'll let me park my mobile home there later. If you do that, then you're fine for buying a first-time home buyer, regular SFR.
Boom. Mary, bounce on us. A lot of you out there. We're going to get to every single one of your questions, guys. So hang in there. We're going to answer all of them and call you like we are calling Mary right now. Are we paying 12 months of taxes at closing if we close in August, or is it a prorated amount?
Very good question, Mary. And here's the very simple, logical, unbelievably logical answer. Here's what it is. So, you pay for the days that you own. So, you took possession on midnight on one day. So, the property taxes are due for that. Now, here's the catch. Property taxes in California are due 2 times during the year. And during the year, at these 2 times, you'll get a bill for like $4,000. And the bank will impound that. So, you're going to have to pay for the time that you owned it. And the person that is departing will have to pay for the time that they owned it. Now, here's the big question. What month are you closing and how many months are mandated for impound during that month? Because every month is different. We have one where we impound 2 months, and we actually have one where we impound 9 months. So depending on the month you close and the state that you're closing, that's how much you have to impound the property taxes. Thank you for playing.
Yeah, and Mary, the state plays a big deal because some states are once a year, some are twice a year, some are 4 times a year, some are 6 times a year.
What?
So it all plays a big deal, but don't be too freaked out,
Who
Mary.
does 6 times a year?
Everything will be okay. I can find the state. There's a
I
lot of them.
don't remember 6. I've seen the 4.
There's a lot of them.
6, yeah.
Elite Josh, $280,000 purchase price and $300,000 appraisal. Can I get $20,000 spread to be part of my down payment?
So,
Elite Josh, You're in a good spot still.
Yeah, you're in a good spot.
Great spot.
So for your down payment, probably not.
No.
Probably not. For your closing costs, probably so.
Maybe.
Yeah. So for your down payment, the FHA guidelines, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and all the guidelines are stating that the borrower has to come out of pocket. It can't come out of the deal. However, from purchase price to value, you can stack your closing costs. So you would have to do this through your realtor. It's kind of high tech, but your realtor would submit a new offer to say, hey, I know we're offering a 280, but we're going to offer you 290, and we want you to absorb the closing costs. And if the seller says, well, yes, I'll do it for 290, then cool, you're good. And you can use $10,000 to stack the closing costs. However, for your down payment, not by the guidelines, can't do it that way. Nope.
Yeah, there you go. The Boring Realtor, thank you for the love, giving us that lightning bolt. Appreciate it. Lion Luxury Poodle, I don't know, Poodle Sales. Thank you for the love. User 2568. If I buy a mobile home, we already answered that one. I just purchased my home and got 3.99 interest rate.
I think you're full of shit.
You borrowing from the mob?
Yeah, I think no, the mob will do. They're like, hey, you're gonna give.
You look like you have a mob meeting. The way you're dressed right now.
We're gonna give you a 3.9 interest rate.
You meet up with Gotti?
And I own 50% of your home.
This guy looks mob right now, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Mob.
Yeah.
Ozzy Lopez, lowest credit score to get an FHA loan.
500.
500s.
500s. But you better have some money.
Cash.
Like big money.
Let's do it.
Because if you have a low credit score, nobody wants to lend you money. You have to come in with a lot of money in order for somebody to want to lend you money.
I hope you're that guy that was gambling and he was talking about.
Yeah, I know, right?
Daniel Coleman just started this year. All right, cool, man. You'll be fine. That's the gambler.
Okay, cool. You forgot what is concessions. You missed it. Go back up.
What? Ashley 1922 back in the house. How you doing? She said, hi, guys. What are concessions?
You tell them.
Well, when you go to a concession stand, you usually get sodas and hot dogs and chips and stuff like that.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Okay, pizza sometimes.
Yep.
But concessions in a real estate transaction, it's something that's coming back to you from either the seller, the agent, or the loan officer. So it's something outside that's coming back to you. So seller concessions. What are seller concessions? So you're buying a house, okay? Your agent negotiates and says, you know what? My buyer's going to need $10,000 concessions from you in order to make this transaction work. And it's done through a negotiation, okay? Sometimes the agent is nice and they say, hey, I'm going to give you $1,000 concession towards your transaction. So pick any house you want. I'm going to give you $1,000, so you pay $1,000 less, okay?
Here's my favorite.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is, hey, I need an extra $2,000 from the loan officer, so we need a loan concession in order to make the closing costs. And then I bring the interest rate up a little bit, and we pay off your closing costs.
Yeah. Ours is a little different.
Yeah.
Because it's part of your rate. But yeah, concessions come that way. Hope that helps out. 22. User 2568. If I buy a mobile home, I already answered that one.
Yep.
Becca Stern, 56K income, 70K down, life savings, 600 a month in debt, 780-ish credit score. Becca Stern's next question probably is, how much can I buy?
How much can you buy with seven?
Well, I'll tell you what, 780 credit, ooh, badass. 70K down, good for you. 56K income. What do you think, Lee Durant?
So I'm gonna go. You're cracking 400 to 420 if I'm factoring in that 70K down.
Becca Stern, where are you buying?
But there are some things that we really need to talk about, Becca, because you're gonna have to make some very difficult choices, and I can help you with the math. So, is it better to put 70K down, or is it better to understand that you're gonna refinance later and factor that in and use some of that 70K to buying down the rates? Because let's just say that you borrowed $400,000.
Yeah.
Today, borrowed $400,000.
Like
and you took 30-year term. That over that 30-year term, you're probably going to pay back about $1.2 million.
Damn.
$1.2 million. Why? Because the rate's so damn high.
Big money.
But if we refinanced at 4, well, then you wouldn't pay 1.2 million. We'd pay less, way less.
Nice.
If you use some of that 70 grand and you bought down the rate when you're at the bottom. Don't buy the rate down when you're at the top. That's not smart. It's not the wisest thing to do unless you needed it in order to qualify for the deal.
What animal would you say is wise?
Owl.
You know they're one of the stupidest animals that exist, IQ-wise? You have a very low IQ. So just putting that out there because people need to know.
Dolphin?
All of you, hang in there. A lot of questions. We have the answers. Hang in there. Do not leave. We're going to call you out, okay? Queen Maritza Heart. $85,000 a year. 700 credit score. No debt. What do I qualify for buying a home? Queen Maritza with that credit score and income. Hang in there because your DMs are going to flood with dudes saying, hey, lady, you want to go on a date? Hang in there.
85K a year. I'd say you're cracking 410 to 460, depending on where you're at. So 410,000 to 460,000, somewhere in that.
And don't be financing any of these Simps cars, okay? The Boring Realtor, I use these a lot. They're great.
Are they talking about us?
I sure hope so.
I so hope so.
Who are you, the Boring Realtor? What's your real name?
We like Boring Realtors.
I do too.
The ones that make cash.
Cash money.
Like, what's your hobby? Cash and checks.
Yeah.
All right, that's my hobby.
All
You know what I like to do on a Saturday? Cash checks. How about Sunday? Bank's closed, but Monday I cash checks.
Ashley1922 says, we can't survive another 4 years with Harris. T-Money 2024.
Ashley, I agree with you 100%. I just hope the rest of the country agrees with you too.
Yeah, me too. Bill Gross, how do you feel about the realtor price fixing scheme that was recently exposed?
Well, Bill, I hate to say this, but there's a lot of slop in this industry all over the place.
True.
A lot of slop.
Starting at the building.
Yeah. From the builders, man, the builders just beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
They really do. And the sad part is they beat you in ways that you don't even know they're beating you in. That's the hard part. That's the sad part. So how do I feel about the price fixing scheme? I think any price fixing scheme is bad news.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, Bill.
Phil Bill, isn't that a movie?
Kill Bill. That's a different.
Oh, shh!
You can't say
Dude,
that.
don't be saying stuff like that.
No.
Bill's an okay guy.
I know. No, he's not. He's gonna come at us in a little
Hey,
while.
hey.
He's
He
the one
hasn't
that
yet.
thinks- Yeah, I
He
know.
hasn't
He's
asked
gonna
us-
come at us and say everybody deserves a house.
Yeah, but he doesn't even talk about the need of food or water.
So remember, we used to deal with this one
he doesn't
realtor.
even talk about food or water.
And this one realtor,
about houses.
he was hilarious. He was like, "Here's my," and he was one of these like Guido guys. He's like, "Here's my tagline: Every queen deserves a castle." And I was like, "Oh God, are you really going with that?" Put it on his business card, put it everywhere, and he's like, putting on the car. He's like, "Hey,
Ooh, Noir?
every queen deserves a castle." I'm like, "Oh God, I don't think he's still in the business."
Who is that?
You don't remember?
No.
Oh, I can't.
Give me his,
I'm not gonna out him.
give me his initials.
I can't out him, man.
They're not going to get it by initials.
I can't out him.
All right, whatever. Dan and Chetta said, y'all need to update the NAF logo. We don't have that kind of time, man. The Boring Realtor said, question, what's the minimum your company can do?
Minimum, boring
I
realtor.
don't know.
So it's not our company. It's actually Dodd-Frank.
I think he's asking fundings. How many can we handle? How many fundings can we handle? 700 a month.
Okay. So
Test
anyway,
us, Boring Realtor.
there's something
Test
called
us.
an HPM. HPM is a high price mortgage. High price mortgage means the fees exceed a certain percentage of the loan. That usually happens right around 80, 90, 100 grand. So most banks don't want to do less than 100 grand.
But I want to be tested on 700 fundings a month. So test us,
do
the
it,
Boring
yeah.
Realtor. ZU3, can you use FHA multiple times?
Yes, you can. ZUS3, but you better know how, because
Better know
if
how.
you try it wrong, no. But if you
try
do
it
it
wrong.
right, you can do it.
Try it right.
Yep.
User 2568 again. What loan should I take out to buy a mobile home to where it won't affect my first-time home buyer?
Well, user 2568, you're not going to be able to get it. It won't matter what. There's only certain types of loans, and that's kind of a secured loan, but it's not going to be secured against real value because the mobile home is going to be way less the minute you own it. It's going to be valued way less. So it's mobile home financing. It's what it is. It's mobile home financing. It will show up on a credit report, but it doesn't show up as real estate or mortgage. It doesn't show up in any of those things. It's like buying a timeshare. It's like buying an RV. It's like literally in the state of California, mobile homes were governed by the Department of Motor Vehicles.
DMV?
Why? Because it had wheels on it and could roll around. You could live in Arizona today with your mobile home and Pennsylvania the next day with your mobile home. If you can make it from Arizona to Pennsylvania one day, I don't think you can. I think it takes longer than that, especially towing a mobile home. But, yeah.
Put some spinners and some racing stripes on it. Here to troll. Yes, you are.
Yes, you
yes,
are. Here to
Dizzy, thank you
troll.
for the love. Mac, I'm waiting to hear back from my file. Was supposed to call back after 5 yesterday.
You know who Mac is?
I don't know who Mac
I don't know who Mac is either.
Who are you,
We'll be
Mac?
working on you, Mac. Just text us.
Yeah.
As soon as you're done, text us. Text whoever you're talking to. You're talking to Chris or me.
Yeah.
Just text us. And if we haven't gotten back to you, we didn't mean to let it slip through, but we get a lot of people, so we're trying to help you.
And also, time for a commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officers, Chris and Lee, at New American Funding by dialing the numbers on the screen. But don't dial them right now because Chris is live on Instagram and Lee is live on TikTok, and we will not answer. But after we're done with this live, we will answer. Bye.
All right. User 2568 again. Asking the same question.
Yep.
Ozzy Lopez. I tried to get pre-approved with a broker for 200 G's with a 620, and they told me my score wasn't strong.
It's not strong. It's acceptable.
Yes.
Barely. At the bottom end.
Be nice.
This is the nice version. You should see
Be
the
nicer.
other version.
Be
Okay.
nicer.
So, minimum Fannie Mae Freddie Mac is 620, but that's the minimum. That's like you barely get in the door, and right now in this lending environment, very difficult to get a loan if you're barely getting in the door because they've tightened up the lending so tight that 620 not that great. Your minimum for FHA with 3.5% down is 580, but it's really hard to get a 580 approved nowadays. Yeah.
Yep. But we'll give it hell, man. So give us a call. New England Nell. You think he's a Patriots fan?
Maybe.
You think he likes Tom Brady?
Everybody likes Tom Brady. Even the people who hate Tom Brady like Tom Brady.
Do you even know where New England is?
It's where the Patriots play.
You don't know. User 2568. Yes, you answered my question, LOL, but what type of loan can I use to buy a mobile home? It's going to be a personal property loan of some sort.
Yeah.
It's not a real estate loan.
When you
I
go
don't
to
know.
when you go to the mobile home store, they're gonna be like, "Hey, you want finance? Yeah, they'll get
Use
you the
that
loan.
one.
Yeah,
Use that one.
use that one."
We don't know, man. We don't deal in that business. Madison said, told Ozzy Lopez, that's crazy.
I know we're all crazy.
Ashley Heikland, how you doing? When do you think I should start looking for a house if I want to move in January, February?
Ashley, the first thing you need to do.
How do they get in?
I have no idea.
How did they get in?
I have no idea.
How do I get rid of that?
Just hit block. Oh no, 562. No, don't block that.
Don't block it.
Go back to TikTok. Oh, we're having technical difficulties. Yeah, we're having technical difficulties. Okay, we're back.
They got in. How did they get in, man?
I have no idea, man.
Raven Brooklyn. What can you use equity for?
Whatever
Cocaine.
you want. Yeah, you could buy a boat. You
Weed.
can get weed. You can buy weed.
Jordans.
Jordans, no
Gold.
doubt. Jordan. Dude,
Rollies.
slow down. Rollies.
And whatever you want. Whatever you want.
They don't tell very good time though.
They don't,
How often is your rollie right?
Once a
Mine's
week.
never right.
Once a week.
It's never right.
Once a week when I
It's never
adjust
right,
it.
man. I got a Timex that's right way more than the rollie.
Dude, I got a G-Shock. It's my
Yeah.
favorite. My favorite. Crystal 1983. Do you think rates will drop in September when the gods meet?
I won't call them gods. I mean,
Well, they act like it.
They act like they're gods, but they're not. So, Crystal,
1983.
I do believe there's going to be an interest rate reduction. I do believe so. I also believe it's not going to have a very big effect on the market. It's by design. It's not going to have a very big effect on the market. Here's what I say. So let's just say Rachel, 1983. No, Crystal, 1983. Oh, dude, you can't call by the wrong name. We'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
Crystal, 1983. Crystal, 1983. Let's just say that you're at your job and you're making $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month. All right, cool. You're making $60,000 a year. That's pretty good. $5,000 a month. And your boss comes in and says, "Hey, got a special bonus for you. I'm going to increase your lifestyle. Your quality of life's going to go up. I'm not going to tell you till payday. But when it comes, you're going to be happy. Yeah, you're going to be happy. And you're like, all right, this is going to be good. Can hardly wait. You run around, you tell your husband, you tell everybody, hey, my lifestyle's about to increase. And then the paycheck comes in, and it's not $5,000, it's $5,200. And you look at it, and you're like, okay, it's not nothing. It's $200. But did it really increase your lifestyle? Maybe a little bit because you get to go to a restaurant 1 or 2 more times in the month. But not a whole lot. That's what's going to happen when we drop 25 basis points.
Oh, man.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Am I in trouble again?
We're always in
I
trouble.
keep getting banned for stuff.
Always
man. I
in
didn't even
trouble.
try.
Mac, gotcha. Know exactly who that is. We'll
Yeah.
be in contact.
Okay,
and
cool.
then Ashley Heikland said we froze, so you didn't answer her question. So I was starting.
You start with your loan. Yeah, you start your loan like
we already
right
have
now.
a loan. We already done our loan. That's why she's asking.
Oh, okay.
So November, October, November.
You should start looking so you understand the market, but then don't be real because you can't make a move till then.
Yep. Stephanie Madison, 70K income, FICO 635. What can I qualify for?
70K, probably starting at 350, 360, maybe more. A few more depending on where you are buying.
Chip, if you can't afford 20%, you shouldn't buy a house.
Chip, you have an opinion. There's no question about that.
That is for sure. New England, how do you go about getting a HELOC?
Oh, real simple. You give us a call. We type in the data or send you a link, and boom, HELOC.
There you go. Queen Maritza's in PA.
What's up, Pennsylvania? I hope you guys shift. I was watching the electoral map, and Pennsylvania might shift, and we might have a red hat in Pennsylvania. I'm hoping. Anyway.
Yeah. East side is the best.
Yep.
Nana said hi. Say hi back.
Hi, Nana.
Yeah, see,
Nana, Nana, Nana. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
All right. PTOS Tacaris. Pearland, Texas.
Pearland, Texas. Yeah, we love Texas. I have a house in Austin. I know very well property taxes are way more expensive in Texas than they are in California. I have a house in California. Property taxes are way less.
Yep.
Have a house in Texas. Property taxes are way more.
Yep.
So, yep.
Absolutely. User 2897. Do payments to the IRS show up? I pay them $160 for back taxes.
Do they show up? They don't show up on your credit report. So if you're paying them on time, the only one who's really happy is you and the IRS.
Well, they will show on your bank statements if you're making monthly payments.
They'll show up on your bank statements, but they won't show up on your credit report. And if you're an offer installment agreement, I do have to count that $160 against you on a monthly basis, kind of like a credit card, but not a big deal.
Is that $160? $160,000? What is
Could
that?
be $160,000, man. There's some ballers out there. Yeah, some ballers out there.
Shaden, let me know how to pay off a $300,000 loan, please, in 15 years.
Oh, Shaden, that's easy. That's easy. So easy, it's unbelievable. Shaylin, you start by getting a 15-year loan for $300,000.
I don't think that's the question.
And then you make the payments on time for 15 years.
I don't think that's the question.
And then, boom, it is paid off in 15 years.
He knows that's not the question.
$300,000. Boom.
So here's what you do, Shaden. Here's what you do. Take two. This is rule of thumb, so it's not going to be exact.
Shit.
Whatever your monthly payment is, multiply that by 2, divide it by 12, and make that extra payment to principal every single month. So I'll give you an example. If your payment's $2,500 a month, that's $5,000 a year. What's that divided by 12?
Dude, I was ready for math.
$433 a month, something like that.
Yeah.
Pay that $433 a month, added to principal in addition to your regular monthly payment. It'll go to about 15 years.
Yep.
Boom.
Or get a $300,000 loan for 15 years. Make the payments on time. It will be paid off in 15 years.
His mom's disappointed. All his loved ones are disappointed too, so don't feel bad. Danny Guarcha. How long do you have to wait if you buy a car and also want to buy a house? You did that backwards, Danny.
Yeah, Danny, you should have bought the house first.
Yes.
Yeah, but the real answer is 1 day.
No waiting period.
Yeah, no waiting
Do
period.
it the same day.
You could do it the same day, but we have to qualify both, and they both have to fit. But 1 day.
If it don't fit, gonna make it. User 2568. Ha ha ha. Okay, thank you. Do you do mobile home loans?
No. No.
I
no,
do
No.
have someone I can refer you to though.
Yeah, but no.
I don't know anything about it, but I can refer you.
No.
So call us. Ashley Johnson, will FHA loan limits increase next year in Florida? Love Florida. I don't know if
Are you running into problems with FHA loan limits in Florida? You think
Some
so?
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they increase almost every year. Every year they go up a little bit. It's kind of a big deal for loan officers because we're like, hey, we couldn't do a $600,000 house before. Now we can do a $600,000 house. They run this math, the government does, and they figure out the mean price, what the mean income is,
That
the
price
air
is
median income.
mean.
And then it goes up about every year, just about every year.
Yep. Mac, we got you, man. We'll be in contact. Ashley, we already answered your questions. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Like relocation kiddos?
All right.
That's weird. My husband and I make $155,000. No. There's not a zero there, but I'm going to assume. A year with the 587 and 584 score, can we get approved for 515,000?
You're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, but that DTI is going to be low.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a hard time because that 580 and 584. So here's the key of it. So if you have a 587 FICO, you earned it. If you have a 584 FICO, you earned it. How did you earn it? Well, somebody trusted you with debt at some point in the past, and you didn't pay it on time. I'm sure you have a great story. I've heard thousands of stories on how my cat got divorced. You don't understand how hard it was during that time because there was a separation first, and the income dropped, and then the cat finally got divorced, and there's always a hard story, but you didn't pay somebody back on time that lent you the money. So then when a loan officer pulls your credit and we get to see that, you're like, hey, bank, bro, can I borrow $500,000? Trust me, bro, I'll pay it back. I'm like, cool, let's see how you've done in the past. Ew, you didn't pay any of the people back on time. Yeah, we got to really think about this because your past kind of indicates what you're going to do in the future. That's a little scary for the bank. So that's how they look at it. Now, there are some things that we can do to help it, but the biggest thing we can do is get that credit score up. And there's ways we can do that.
Yeah. Jay, where can I apply? I'm in Texas and looking around.
Jay, look no further. It's right here.
He's looking around.
Right here. Yeah. You can go to our links in the bio, and there's a way to apply right on the links. Just go to our profile links, apply for a loan. Or you can screenshot this and call us, and you can text me. I get texts all day long. Hey, can I get a link for an application? I send the link, and that's it. And if people fill it out, great. If they don't, I don't even remember.
Mama G, how you doing? Will interest rates go down in Cali and Texas?
Mama G, good question. It's not state specific. The government programs are government programs. So FHA is a straight government program. So when the government does it, it's across the nation. VA, straight government program. USDA, straight government program, like literally dealing with the government. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, GSE, government-sponsored enterprises. Government program, but not so direct. Enterprise? Is that right?
Enterprise.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Starship Enterprise.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to.
Cool.
What is the Starship Enterprise?
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Trekkies.
nothing.
I knew it.
You know nothing.
Mama G follows up then. When will they go down then?
Well,
when? I'm assuming that she's in the South or something like that.
Betting
I don't know.
people,
I'm sorry.
well, it's probably Texas, because Mama G says
love
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. So, betting people say that it's going to start in September. And you're going to see a little bit of increase. It's going to get a little better. Not nothing, but not great. And then from there, it starts going down.
Boom. User 2568 again. Okay, thank you for answering my question. You guys are great.
I appreciate you, user 25.
Oh, you're the great one, not me.
Don't cry,
It's
dude.
you.
Don't cry.
Okay. 1983 back in the house. Telling user something. Do you know the difference between mobile home and manufactured home? Crystal 1983, you got the education of a lifetime, so you know the differences. Tell the difference, Lee.
Okay, so a mobile home has wheels.
Nice one. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes pretty nice wheels. And you just hook it up to a truck. Sometimes it's a small truck. Most of the time it's a big truck.
Yeah.
But you hook it up to a truck and you can mobile that home anywhere you want. You can mobile it to the van down by the river. You can park right next to that guy. The river's beautiful, right in front of the river. Yeah, it's amazing. So a manufactured home is something where it doesn't have wheels. Yeah, they got to jack it up and then they put it on a flatbed. And you still move it around. But once you take it off, you go straight to a foundation, and then you attach it to the foundation correctly, and that's a manufactured home. A mobile home has wheels. Simple.
So once it's connected to the earth, guess what that's called?
Real estate. I knew the answers.
And this guy happens to do real estate financing.
What?
Those are called home loans.
Yep, home loans.
All right, so that's your education, guys. Reload Kiddo said, "Thank you. You are very welcome." Valerie Flores, I want to buy a pre-foreclosure. How tricky is this? So someone that's in foreclosure, it's not completing foreclosure. How tricky is that?
Valerie, do you have a ton of cash? If you have a bunch, like $500,000 in cash, it's pretty hard. If you're trying to finance, pretty hard times 5. Yeah. Tricky? Yeah, very tricky.
Why?
Well, because if somebody is pre-foreclosure, they haven't even gone into foreclosure yet. So they're just late. So now you got to go convince somebody who's late, because it's been public record, it's late. You got to convince them, hey, bro, you should sell to me for cheap. But I'm not even being foreclosed on yet. Yeah, but you still should sell for me for cheap. But I'm not even being foreclosed on yet. Bro, just trust me. Move your family, sell to me, you'll be better. Okay, I'll do it. And if you're able to get that off, pull that off, then the next thing is, where am I going to get my money? Well, if you have $500,000 in cash, you go, well, here you go. And all right, so that worked. If you go, hey, I'm going to go try and borrow from the bank, I'll be right back. They're going to be like, why again am I selling if I'm not even in foreclosure yet? I'm pre-foreclosure, so I'm not in foreclosure. So what? Wait a minute. I'm selling and you're going to go to the bank and maybe get financed? And the bank's going to go, okay, cool. Let me see the contract. And you're like, I don't have a contract. I just talked this bro into selling to me because he's late, but he's not in foreclosure yet. The bank's going to be like, and you want us to lend on the bro conversation? Probably not.
Right. LEP. Thank you for the love. Is that LEG's brother?
Maybe.
Booyakasha.
That's pretty cool.
Booyakasha.
I think we lost a lot when he stopped doing that.
I don't know. You guys know who Sacha Baron Cohen is? Pretty funny sometimes.
He's pretty damn funny sometimes.
Jay!
I don't like his politics, but he's pretty freaking funny.
What's his politics? He's in politics?
He hates Trump.
Is he running for president?
He's not.
I would not vote for him.
But
Although he will let the Fitz in.
He got an interview with Trump.
He will let the Fitz in.
I do like that part too.
You keep the mangers out.
He keeps the mangers out. He got an interview and he's like, I've got this.
Tell me about this interview.
It's a wonderful interview. He walks up.
Who is he interviewing?
So he's interviewing Donald.
T-Money?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, I have this brilliant idea for a business.
Okay.
And he goes, what's the most popular business in the world? And Donald goes, music. And he does it in perfect time. He's like, huh? Never really thought about it. He starts taking notes. He's like, music. I think you should remember this. He goes, no, ice cream. And he goes, and Donald goes, I can see an argument. And he goes, what's the problem with ice cream? It drips on your hand. So here's my business deal. I have an ice cream glove. Every time you eat ice cream, you put on this glove. And now it drips on the glove. And when you're done, you take the glove off and throw it away. And you know what Donald said? I hope you make a lot of money with that. Bye.
I think it's a fantastic idea. Huh? Ice cream glove.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're writing it down.
I'm going to steal this idea. Become a billionaire.
Oh my God.
All right, guys. We need your questions. What are your questions, comments, concerns about buying a house? I do have a question for you guys. Is there any contractors out there? Are there any tradesmen out there? Are there anyone doing plumbing, electrical, excavating, framing, roofing, any of the things that have to do with building a house? Because the one-time construction is starting to take off, guys. A lot of people are building their own house. But don't think just because you can that it's easy. And that's why I'm reaching out to these guys that are doing the trades, your general contractors, the builders, the people that actually have done the work, laid the foundation, put up the studs, all the stuff that's involved in it. Because building your own house, there's a lot that's involved. It's not just, oh, I'm going to hire you to build a house, the bank's going to give you money. It's not that easy. But those that are willing to try it, you can build your own house. You can have the house of your dreams. You can have it done the way that you want it. Here's what I'm experiencing, and here's a lot of the feedback that I'm getting from new builds. They're like, you know what I hate? Is that when someone knocks at my door to sell me solar or Jesus or gardening or whatever it is, when I open that door, there's my living room. My family is sitting right there when I open the front door to a stranger. So I'm getting a lot of that from the people who are looking at new builds. And if you don't like that, you could build your own house. You could build your own house that doesn't open the front door to the living room because you can design it however you want it designed.
I thought you were going to go with get a gat. I was pretty sure you were like, so when you open that door, you should be holding a gat.
In America, you should own a gat. You should.
Yeah.
I do recommend that.
I thought you were going to be like, hey, so when you open that door and everybody sees their family, they should also see the barrel of a gat.
Like,
yes. Even a
What are you selling?
spear gat if you need.
Spear gun.
Yes.
What about a musket?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do
Load
it.
it
do
right in front of them.
Do it
Like,
right there, man.
My little
Yeah.
my little powder, pack it. Okay. Anyway, so building your own house, guys. Here's the biggest hurdle, because everyone wants to do it. You know, do you want to build your own house?
Of course.
Do I want to build my own house?
Of course.
Do you want to build your own house?
Of course.
Okay, of course. But here's the biggest hurdle. Here's the biggest hurdle. Okay, you already have a life. You're paying $3,000 a month in rent. You got $1,000 in car payments. You got another $700 in monthly payments that you pay to credit cards and cell phone bills and utilities, and then you have to buy food on top of that. So you're paying close to $5,000 a month just to live. Okay, right? Sound about right?
Yep.
Okay. You make probably $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, but you're paying $5,000 a month to live, and now you want to build your own house. And you're like, you know what? The houses in my area are going for $600,000, but I found out that I could build my own house the same size as these, the way I want it, for $400,000.
You save $200,000.
You save 200 G's.
200 G's in
But
the
here's
hizzy.
the kicker. Here's the kicker. Okay, when you're building your own house, you have something called a draw. Okay, a draw means the contractor takes some money to start building. Okay, they start building your house. Let's say that first draw is $100,000. Okay,
100 G's.
there's going to be 4 draws because it's a $400,000 house.
100
$100,000. So that first 100, let's say, buys the land and lays the foundation.
Okay.
Okay, guess what comes with that $100,000?
Payment.
About $600 a month.
$600.
Guess when you start paying that?
Right away.
Right away.
That sucks.
Yes. A couple months later, you need another $100,000. How much you got now?
200. I wasn't ready for the math.
Multiply that monthly payment times 2.
1,200 a month.
You're still paying your $5,000 lifestyle, but now you got an additional $1,200 a month.
This-
Let's triple it.
This is not
18.
going well.
Quadruple it. 2,400. So you got to maintain this $5,000 a month lifestyle and this $2,800 a month. So if you're okay with that, you could build your own home. It's not impossible, guys. I'm just giving you the real challenges. But we got a question.
Booster Angie,
Yes, we do.
can you explain assumable loans? Yes, I can explain them. And I got not good news for you. So, kind of good news, but not good news. So, what is an assumable loan?
What is it?
It means that you can assume somebody else's loan. Very simple.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds really good. But let me give you 2 different lines of thoughts and why it's difficult. Because it is kind of difficult. I've done it. I've actually assumed a loan. So what happens is if you went to us and you're like, hey, guys, I'd like to borrow $400,000 so that I can buy a house. Okay, cool. Now, inside of that transaction, we're going to make a commission.
How much?
I don't know, a lot. So we're going to make a lot. So we're going to make a good commission. Not like break the bank.
Not like
but
a real estate agent.
Not like a real estate agent. We make 1/3 what a real estate agent makes. So we're going to make a commission. All right. And the bank's going to make a profit on this loan. So who's incentivized and motivated to move this loan forward? Well, the real estate agent's going to make 3%. So they make a big commission. All right. So they're going to be pushing on everybody. Hey, we need to close this loan fast. All right, cool. We make a commission. So we're like, yeah, we need to close this loan fast. The bank's like, hey, I'm going to make a profit in this, so I need to close this loan fast. So now you have everybody. You have title, escrow, the notary, the appraiser, the inspection person, the pest guy. You have everybody out there that's pushing really hard to close this loan within 30 days. And you know what? Well, everybody's on your side because you paid everybody in this transaction to close your loan in 30 days. And guess what? Everybody does their job correctly. We close it in 30 days. You got a house. Yay! Awesome. We get a commission. Real estate agent gets a big commission. And now you have a house and everybody's happy. All right, so cool. That's the normal transaction. When you go to assume a loan, you go, hey, Mr. Bank, that borrower over there, he's got himself a really good interest rate, and I'd like to assume that loan. Okay. The bank says, yeah, we'll do that. How do I do it? Well, we have an assumption department, but only because we have to.
They come in on Tuesdays.
Yeah, they come in on Tuesdays. So we're going to put you in touch with the assumption department. So you call up and you're like, hey, I'd like to assume the loan. And they're like, cool, I'll put you in line. There's a lot of people who want to assume loans. There's no commission to the assumption department.
And I come in on Tuesday.
It's actually a liability to the bank because they have to do it.
His name is Earl.
So his name's Earl?
I don't know.
All right, cool. So the bank has to do it. So they're like, okay, cool. Now you're like, hey, I'd like to assume the loan. Okay, fill out all these paperwork and then give me all this paperwork and then we'll get back to you. When? I don't know, when I get around to it, after you get me everything, I hope you get everything.
Eating
you
my
don't-
sandwich right
yeah,
now.
I'm eating my sandwich. You don't understand. So then, about 60 or 90 days later, they're like, hey, I got all your paperwork here. I'm starting to work on that assumption of the loan. I did notice you didn't send me your 2022 taxes. So we're on a stand still until you get me those 2022 taxes. So whenever you get me those, I'll put you back in line. You're like, whoa, wait. It took me 90 days to get you to call me back the first time.
I work Tuesdays.
He works Tuesdays, Earl. So now, oh my God, now you get the 2022 taxes. It's now 4 months in the transaction. They're like, all right, cool. We got no paperwork. We're going to start processing it.
Now,
And
Earl
you're
goes
like-
on vacation.
And you're like, wait a minute, start processing it? What do you mean start processing it? Yeah, we're going to start processing it. What are you going to do? Go somebody else? Can't. You're assuming this loan. Nobody's making a commission. Nobody's incentivized. There's no money in it. So just the basics of human life take over. And because there's no real money in it,
No motivation.
nobody moves it forward very fast. I've heard of assumptions taking 9 months.
Damn.
9 months.
Woo.
But the norm is probably 90 days.
Who's Norm? Is
It's
that
not Earl.
Is that Earl's friend?
That's Earl's backup when he's on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Norm. He runs Norm's eatery too. So
Oh, the diner, huh?
yeah, so you can go to Norm's and eat.
That's where he gets his sandwiches.
Yeah. So the bank allows you to assume the loan if inside of the contract the loan is assumable. But in practicality, it takes forever and nobody wants to help you. So that's the reality. I did one. I assumed a VA loan from a house I bought, my primary residence, obviously. So I assumed a VA loan and I did it. And I was like, I can't believe this. And they told me, hey, listen, nobody's making a commission. Nobody cares. So I was like, yeah, I guess that's reality. So I hope I helped you.
Yeah. If any of you are interested in getting a home loan, go to the link in the bio, select apply for a home loan now. If you want to talk about your scenario, our phone number is there and you can give us a call. But you ready to sign us out, Leader?
You know what? We appreciate all of you guys. Even though I haven't given you the most favorable answers to all of you, like pre-foreclosures and assumables, I do want to help you. So we've been Chris and Lee. We are out.